Hi, and welcome to another episode of Starto, the show for the American entrepreneur. Joining me again, as always, the beautiful, the talented, the red-shoed today, Miss Sandy Grayson. Sandy, how are you?
I am fabulous.
This is very, very coy move there with the shoes to get them up on eye level with the camera.
Yeah.
What are you sporting today in the shoe department?
These are Steve Madden's, I believe.
Steve Madden's.
Yes.
I have no idea what that means, but I'll assume it's impressive.
That's,
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, we like Steve Madden's.
Well, so before we get started today, have to have a huge shout out to our very first ever sponsors,
Yes.
a group called Axles.
Yes.
You could find them at axles.com or cohats.com. Sporting some really cool Colorado style t-shirts.
I know,
You like
right?
them? And I should show the camera there, which is, this is pretty badass. And even if you're not from Colorado, easy. This is a family show, Sandy. Even if you're not from Colorado, it's still cool to show the CDOT stuff.
Yeah.
The Colorado stuff. So you too could be a hip Coloradan, even if you're not from Colorado. Just buy some cool stuff.
And he's got some cool stuff. We got the V-necks.
The-
We got the
the
hats.
And I will tell you this, that his hats, I stole two of them, and they might be the coolest hats
They
that I've
are
ever
very
owned
cool.
in my entire life.
So thanks,
Thank you
Axles.
to Axles. We appreciate
You
it.
rock.
Yeah, you do rock. So I know that you are incredibly excited for today's show. I mean, I can see it in your face that you are vibrating at a very high rate of speed right now.
I am. I
Well-
had the best day today writing the show.
Yeah, it was. This is Sandy Grayson's dream show,
It is.
pretty much.
Do we have the name
The
of the show?
combination. Well, no, because we have to set the show up.
Oh.
So we were talking. We came across this article on entrepreneur.com, and it was entitled something to the effect of, "Startup people shouldn't just wear hoodies and jeans," or in my case, T-shirts and jeans.
Right.
Now,
It says necessary startup styles. Why a hoodie and jeans are not enough by Erica Bell and Katie Finnegan.
okay, very good.
That was the article.
So when it started this conversation between the two of us,
Yes.
and it started a conversation kind of in general here at ICOSA around what is the correct style for startup people. Now, as everybody I'm sure here knows, you, Sandy Grayson, are a fashion diva.
I don't know.
You
about
are
that.
somebody who lives fashion. You breathe
I like
fashion.
it. I do like it.
It is part of your very ethos.
If you looked on my iPad, 90% of the magazines that I read are in Style and Vogue, and I do love looking at fashion. And I wouldn't say I always
It's part of
dress
who you are.
the fashionista, but I do love it. It's exciting to me.
So I would think it's safe for us to say that you, Sandy Grayson, diva. I also think it's safe to say me, Chris Franks, dork.
No.
So here is the show today. We're going to debate, you and I, between whether or not it's cool just to wear T-shirts and jeans,
Okay.
because that's the look I go for, or whether or not you have a point that there is absolute reason for us as startup people to, bring our game up a little bit in the fashion department. And so we got a few things planned. I think it's going to be a very, very good show. And once again, I think it's okay to just call this the Sandy Grayson Show.
Yeah, it's funny because you always introduce with me today, as always, and sometimes I detect a little bit of, as always, like, damn
Wait a
it,
minute.
she's here again. And what you don't realize is that pretty soon I'm going to be taking over, and it is going to be.
There is no doubt. From the early feedback we've heard, everybody's been saying, "Who's that Chris guy? We want more Sandy."
That's not true. That's not true. Well, I just want to, before we move on
Please.
into some of the scenarios that we dreamt up, this Entrepreneur Magazine article was really interesting to me because how they started the article was by saying that there's this myth out there that when you quit your job and you become a startup entrepreneur, that you get to hang out in your pajamas all day. I joke a lot about why I love working from home because I get to wear my pajamas all day.
Sure.
But there are scenarios when the pajamas or the hoodie and the sweatpants aren't appropriate.
Just
And that's
doesn't
what they
fly.
said. They felt that delving into the startup world means that you actually have to don an even wider array of attire choices. Since you're doing everything, you're going to have to look like several different parts.
Gotcha.
I thought that was good.
I think it's interesting. I, for one, when I quit my day job and started my first company, it's been a bunch of years back, I literally threw away half of my monkey suits. Like all my suits and the ties and stuff like that. I just threw them away and have been wearing T-shirts ever since.
Right.
So let's dive into it a little bit, Sandy. You're going to take us through some scenarios. So I'm the entrepreneur. I need to bring my game up a little bit. I've got a few scenarios that I'm going to be going through as an entrepreneur, and you're going to help us on learning how to dress for those scenarios. So, as we know, some of our audience is listening via podcast,
right.
So we'll do our best to kind of explain it. But they can always go to.
Yeah, if you'd like to see the pictures that we're pulling up and some of the fabulous outfits that I've chosen that inspire me. You can go to icosa.co and make sure that you check out all the cool photos and the fabulous tips. And I think also you've pulled a few photos that I have not seen, that I'm not aware of, that we're going to do like fashion
fashion police.
Do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
Do you have any bitch stole my look?
Bitch stole my look. I got it going. So yeah, we're going to go in that. So without further ado, let's dive into the Sandy Grayson Fashion Hour, the show formerly known as Starto, the show for the American entrepreneur.
No, it's Startup Fashion Police.
Startup Fashion Police. I like it. All right, so probably the biggest place where most of us feel uncomfortable is the concept of having to go in and pitch our company in front of a variety of different audiences, whether they be angel investors, venture capitalists, others, or just pitch competitions, all the above. I know for a fact when I've done that stuff, I get a little bit nervous about what's the right outfit to wear. So take us through some of your thoughts.
Well, let me start by saying that when you are pitching yourself, your company, whether it's a job interview or whether you're out there just pitching your company to a bunch of venture capitalists, I think the most important thing is for you to feel comfortable. And you said, I threw away all of my monkey suits.
That's right. That's right.
So clearly wearing a suit is not comfortable for you. It's not something that makes you feel powerful. And I think that's the biggest gift that you can get from fashion is wearing something that makes you feel powerful and comfortable and that it expresses who you are. And I'll tell you a quick story. When I first, when my book first came out, I told a friend of mine, I feel like I have this double life. I hang out in bell-bottom jeans and play guitar and, hang out with my friends and my family. And then when I go out to do a book signing, I put on a suit and I feel like I'm just like my mom.
Back to the diva outfit.
Right. But it wasn't comfortable. It didn't feel like me. It felt like I was going to work at the bank. I had like the typical Navy suit. And my friend said to me, Sandy, you need to find a way to express yourself through what you're wearing. So I did manage to find some suits and some jeans and some different kinds of outfits that felt more like Sandy. Yeah, so it didn't feel like I had a monkey suit on.
I will tell you, and it's funny because when I think about what I wear, which I don't really, I always tell people that I wear the pants in the family. My wife just chooses which pants I wear. But when I choose what I'm going to wear in the morning, there's a conscious decision of not overdressing because it does feel powerful to me to wear a T-shirt to work every day.
There you go.
That's part of the liberating factor of me being a startup guy. Is we go through lots and lots of pain, but by gosh, I'm not going to have to wear a suit every day.
Yep.
And
that's a statement in itself, right?
Absolutely.
That you can show up in a T-shirt and jeans and feel comfortable. So these are, let me just qualify, these are things that I admire when I see them. These are things that I personally would wear or maybe want to try to get my husband to wear, although I'm not always successful on that front. My husband,
talk to Jess
here's
and
another
she
funny
can
story.
train you how to train your husband.
When we first moved to Boulder, I remember my husband was going to one of these meetups. And, it was the first one, so he hadn't ever been before. And he was saying, I don't know what to wear. And I was really pushing hard for him to wear one of these suits that we had bought him.
Nice.
And
yeah.
I was like, these suits look great. We went and splurged on a Hugo Boss suit, and it fits nice. And to me, that's what I would put on when I wanted to feel really powerful.
Yeah.
And luckily, he did not listen to me.
Because he'd look like a douchebag.
He would have
looked like a douche. You wear a suit
totally looked
into
like
a room
douche.
full of startup guys, you look like a douche. douchebag.
Exactly.
Or you know what happens when I go to a startup meetup and I see a guy walk into the suit, everybody goes away from him because that's the accountant who's trying to pitch you on their business.
There you go.
Or that's the lawyer
Yeah.
being like, hey, I work with startups too.
So let's just pre-qualify with all of these outfits that I have chosen. It's me choosing them, and I know nothing. This is
you're a
if you want to
diva,
pick
so
up a
you are-
girl, this might be more helpful than actually selling your company.
All right.
But we'll hear your opinion as well.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So tell us about the pitch.
As a fashionable woman, if I was going to get up and pitch my company, this is the kind of thing that I wore when I was hired to do a keynote.
And describe what it is that we're looking at.
You're looking at, it's a J. Crew suit. It's probably a charcoal gray. It's got a bright blue shirt underneath, a silk shirt with a bright yellow belt and a necklace that has a lot of blues and yellows in it. And then her shoes look like they might have a little bit of a leopard print going on.
So a little bit of sass in there
and
as well.
It's not an uptight suit. It's definitely a very fashion forward suit. It's something that I think looks comfortable. The pants aren't super tight fitting. They fit her really nicely. The jacket is a little bit shorter. Again, I would pick this because I feel like it's not stuffy. It's something that looks comfortable and it expresses a little bit of her personality. And I think that's what's important when you put on a suit. There is a difference, right, between the person who looks like that they're wearing I don't want to offend anybody, but there's like this very cliche power red suit that a lot of people wear because they think red is a power color.
Hillary Clinton.
I think it's more powerful. Yeah, politicians do this
Yeah.
a lot. And if that's your business, then of course that's how you should dress. But I'm thinking in an entrepreneurial community, you want to just be a little bit more
Have a little
creative
personality.
and show a little of your own personality, not necessarily dress for like power.
Talk to us about the guy's pitch
So
outfit.
the guy's version, the person that I admire a lot is Richard Branson. And when you look at the kind of things that he wears a lot of jeans with navy blazers and just a simple white shirt. You
First
can
of
tell
all-
he's very comfortable in this.
He's a handsome man.
He is kind of handsome, isn't he?
I am sort of.
He's
yeah.
cute. He's a cute guy.
I
He's got a
wouldn't-
nice
okay,
smile.
he's cute. You're right.
He's got a nice smile.
Oh,
But the reason I have 3 photos here for those of you that are listening to the show. I have 3 photos. One, he's at a podium, and you can't really see it in this picture, but he's drinking a beer at a podium where he's like giving a talk, which I think just shows how relaxed he is. The other photo, he's talking to someone who is in a business suit and a tie, but he's wearing a simple polo shirt. But the key here when you see him is I think you can tell that he's very comfortable in his own skin. So whether he's wearing a golf shirt or whether he's wearing a jacket doesn't really matter because he's just he's comfortable with who he is. And I think that's the most important thing. If you are most comfortable in a t-shirt, you do that a lot actually, Chris. You wear a blazer over a t-shirt a lot of times. You see that a lot in the startup world. We saw Jim Franklin, right, from SendGrid at a very formal event with a SendGrid t-shirt and a blazer over it and jeans. And I was like, you could tell he feels good in that.
It's very easy to feel good in a blazer when you have that flowing, gorgeous hair that Richard Branson does.
Dude, you rock the bald head.
Well,
you need to
thanks.
just embrace it.
Day at the office. I'm going into work at the office. I'm the CEO of a company. I've got people working for me now. I need to express some sort of image that I'm in control and I know what the heck I'm doing. So
Right.
talk to us about these looks.
Well, don't you think, it depends really on what you have going on for the day. I love, this was my favorite part, this is like the daily clothes. This came from Polyvore, which is one of my favorite websites. And this is just this is the kind of thing that you see me wearing a lot. The really high platform boots. These, I don't know who makes them, but they're like kind of a gray flannel-y material with a big platform, and she just has on skinny jeans and a nice gray sweater. But she dressed it up a little bit with a jacket. So if she took the jacket off, again, it's going to be pretty casual.
Well, let me
but
ask
she
you-
can throw that jacket on and go out for a coffee meeting. She can go out to the networking event after work, and she's going to feel good
Pretty
and
good.
polished in it, but not too dressed up.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Is it ever okay for a guy to wear skinny jeans? Tell me no. Tell me no.
I think it depends on your legs, doesn't it?
Okay, fair enough.
And your butt.
And I'll move. Okay, even better. Moving on from that. How about the
We
guys?
could do that next time. We could bring some guys in,
Skinny
and
jeans.
we could.
Oh, this is the
So
kind
this was just another option. This is jeans, that are not skinny. They're the flared jeans and a nice blazer and a very casual shirt. It's just another look that I think is appropriate for office, appropriate if you're in a startup, and also appropriate to go for an important meeting. It can go either way. And to me, that's the key, is having options.
I don't mean to get stuck on something. I'm going to do a quick poll of the guys
The
here
guys.
in the studio. Is it okay to wear skinny jeans ever? Thumbs up or
For
thumbs
guys
down?
or girls? For guys.
Thumbs up. Oh, thumbs up or thumbs down. That's
Yeah.
good.
We have a split
Leave it down.
decision.
Okay, 2-3.
Okay, we have 2-1.
All right, 2-1. Thank you. Thank God.
Some
I don't get
guys,
it. I don't
Some
get it.
guys, Tim, can rock the skinny jeans, right? Am I right?
There's a very, very
You know who
few.
can rock skinny jeans? Adam Levine from Maroon 5.
I don't even know what to say to that.
See, we turned a thumbs
right.
up, a thumbs down into a thumbs up over
Okay,
here with
so
Tammy.
let's go to the day
How about
at
we
the
should take a poll? Startup people, we want to hear
Oh,
from
there you
you.
go.
Do you
Can we-
think it's ever okay for a guy to wear skinny jeans?
Side with me, America. Side with me, Startup America, please. Guys should never wear
Let
skinny
me ask
jeans.
you a question.
Yes.
Do you think anybody gives a shit about this show? Do you think anybody in the startup world is actually going to care about my fashion?
I think
fashionista
so. I think
passions?
I think this is an important show, and it's an important topic, because the truth is that we all want to look good. We all want to make a statement with the way that we look, and even people that, we make fun of them, but we guys that wear skinny jeans or t-shirts or flannels or wherever else, you're making a statement about who you are. Now,
Right.
I, as a startup guy in my late 30s now, I need to be able to pull off a different image in front of investors, in front of advisors, in front of potential customers than I maybe had to at 28.
Right.
So
And
I think it's important.
that's the difference too, is you do see, I live in Boulder, and you do see a lot of guys in the coffee shops and a lot of the guys at the networking meetings that tend to lean towards like the schlubby look, right? Like it just looks
Is that
a little like
technical fashion
that is a
term?
technical fashion
A
term,
schlubby
the
term?
schlubby
Schlubby.
look, which means when you see them, it looks like they don't care.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fine line, if just a couple little tweaks that you can go from I don't give a shit about what I look like to, I'm looking good and it's effortless. Like that's really what you
That's
want
the
it.
goal.
You want it to look effortless.
That's
like
right.
I just threw this
you want
on.
You want to look
Right.
good, but you want to make it look at
And
that.
so for me, like this is a perfect example. I found this actually on amansworldco.com. Emmy is a stylist for men.
Wow.
And I thought this was a great before and after. So here's a guy, like this is a very typical look, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris? So he's got these jeans on, and I guess those are like some kind of cross trainer shoes, maybe?
Sure.
What do you think? And just a button down, like a striped button down that looks a little wrinkled, I would say. The sleeves are a little long. These are things that I'm noticing. Then after, what they did was, it's a very similar shirt, but it just looks a little more pressed, a little more neat, and then they just put a little jacket over it. It's like a navy, not a navy, a green, like an army green kind of zip-up jacket, I would say. There's
Yeah.
no hoodie, there's a collar. But it's a very subtle difference, but wouldn't you say he looks a little more put together
Yeah,
in the
he looks
after?
better. I think part of it's his haircut.
It's
And
yeah,
maybe
they brush his
the lack of glasses as I take my glasses off too.
It's not. No, I think it's the clothes. It looks like he just kind of cares a little bit more. It's that little finishing touch. See, now I love this. He happens to be very cute too, this guy.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps.
Well, here I got to tell you though, that I don't know if you could see on there. I think he's wearing a Chiefs hat. This is Bronco country.
Oh,
Just saying.
sorry.
Just saying. But it's okay. But this is, I think that the guys liked this one because he's wearing a hoodie.
Okay.
So it is okay to wear a hoodie?
Well, here's the way you wear a hoodie, I think. It's, again, the hoodie doesn't look like it was at the bottom of his laundry basket, right? Like it's not all crunched up and smelly looking.
Fair enough.
And it fits. It's not like super, that's another thing you see is sometimes hoodies tend to be like super oversized, and this one looks like it fits nicely. And he has it unzipped over like just a thermal gray shirt, and then underneath the thermal, he has just a little blue t-shirt. So he just, it's a hoodie and a thermal shirt, which are very casual, but it does look a little more put together than just stuff that you would, throw on to go do laundry or whatever.
And as Blake, the director, says, he's got a really badass leather backpack, which just makes him look like I don't know, like maybe he's going to war. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen.
And that's something important, actually. Let's talk about that, because that's something that can make you appear more successful. It can make you appear more put together, is if you take a little time in what you're carrying. So if you have like a nice leather satchel or leather backpack that you're carrying to your meetings versus I don't know, a backpack that looks like you still are carrying it from high school, right, or college. You can go get a new.
Ask for good backpack for Christmas.
And yeah, it just is like a little bit of an upgrade from college.
Fair enough.
Right?
Let's go to our last of the fashion areas, which I think this is an interesting one, because this is always one where I get into trouble. I just never know what to wear when you go to a conference. We were at a conference that we were covering for the show, and there were literally guys in three-piece suits and then a bunch of us guys in T-shirts. So what's some kind of good in-between places that we can go to be fashionable but not overdressed?
Well, I mean, the key is what's the conference, right? And you can usually get a lot of information about proper attire from the conference website. Like, they will tell you what's expected and what's not expected. But again, I think when you go to these conferences, the main thing is you want people to remember you, right? You want to be able to make an impression. So you've got to be comfortable. You've got to feel confident in what you're doing. So it's important that you choose a wardrobe that's going to be easy to pack and it's going to look good if it's been in a suitcase, and that you're going to be able to kind of mix and match and wear different ways for a woman.
Gotcha.
For a man, I think it's just important that you feel comfortable and confident and not overdressed, but certainly not underdressed either. Once you make that big sale, once you sell your company for a few $100 million, then it really doesn't matter, right? We're talking to the people that want to make a good impression and want to meet somebody who's going to give them money.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line. Like, you don't want to look like a schmo in the suit, trying to raise money. You want to look comfortable and confident, and I'm at the top of my game.
That's a very good point, because if you're overdressed, you often have that kind of used car type feeling. Because,
desperate.
Yeah, because honestly, the suits that I have are not that great of suits. I wear them 2 times a year, for the weddings that I have to go to, and that's about it.
Okay, so this look that I've got, this is for a woman at a conference. I like how she's paired just a nice business suit pant with a denim shirt, and she has it kind of half tucked in, half tucked out, and some nice shoes. But she looks like she's not trying too hard, but you can tell that the pieces are from different outfits. So like that denim shirt would look cute with a pair of skinny jeans, as well as these are probably pants from a suit that she wears to work. So it's kind of like not as dressy as when you're pitching, but still using the pieces to kind of mix and match and look nice. I like this look.
Gotcha.
And I think I pulled another one too. Yeah. So this is great because it uses flats, which a lot of times when you're at a conference, you're on your feet all day. So I think it's really important, if you're wearing super high shoes, that you have a pair of the little black flats in your bag that you can pull out at some point in the day, right? And this is just, again, it's a cute little outfit with skinny jeans. She's got a striped long sleeve or 3/4 sleeve t-shirt on, but then she put a cute little red blazer over it. And she's got a scarf. I think scarves are great for mixing and matching and making your outfit look a little more polished for women.
I was going to ask, can guys wear scarves?
It's hard. I think it's tough for a guy to pull off a scarf.
I think if you're a musician,
Mick Jagger, he can do a scarf.
Mick Jagger.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah, he can do a scarf. I agree.
I don't know. I mean, I have to say, my husband gives me shit about this, but I see men sometimes, especially in Colorado, because it's cold outside, right? And they have on a nice blazer and a scarf, and it looks good, but it takes a certain kind of guy that really cares about that to wear it. I think if you don't feel comfortable,
you might be trying too hard if you put a scarf on.
If you're not feeling it, take it off, is my feeling. Like, don't try to be fashionable if you're not feeling it. Always go for the confident, comfortable look.
Scarf or no scarf?
Boys.
Thumbs up on the scarf.
Thumbs up, yes.
Scarf or no scarf?
Because it's functional,
no scarf. Thumbs up on the scarf for guys. Okay.
Very good. Awesome.
We got some crowdsourcing.
All right, so this is a jacket. Actually, I bought this jacket for my husband. It's like $125. It's Kenneth Cole on Amazon, but look at it. It's so cute. Like, Let me describe it for everybody who's listening. It's just like a nice overcoat in a navy color, and he's got it over jeans, and it's just, it's a nice weight. It looks a little like a pea coat, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what I would call it.
Is that what you call it? Yeah. But when you undo the buttons, it's got a built-in sweater underneath that zips up, so it actually looks like you're dressed a little nicer than you are. My husband, he can throw this on over his t-shirt and jeans when we go out to dinner, and it looks like he made an effort.
So my question is that on this thing, is the sweater kind of a built-in part?
It's built in. It's built in.
So when you take it off, it's off.
When you take the jacket off, the sweater comes off. Okay. It doesn't actually go all the way through. It's really just a fashion. It's just a fashion piece.
90 degrees inside.
But it's not. It doesn't add a lot of heat.
Gotcha.
It's not actually a whole sweater. It's just this little piece. And if you unzip it, it still just looks like a regular coat.
Okay.
So you'll have to go and check it out on our website if you're listening to.
All right. So here is the fashion police portion of our show. So I haven't showed you these pictures.
I have not seen these pictures.
And so you're going to get to critique a look from a startup mogul. And the first person we have is probably one of the more famous startup people in the world right now. This guy, I don't know if you've heard of him. What's he called? What's his name? Oh, Mark Zuckerberg. So Mark Zuckerberg might be the most famous hoodie in the world. Give me your take on Mark Zuckerberg's look.
I don't think I'm qualified. I think he's doing everything right based on how he's doing, right? He's like,
is that
isn't
the rule?
he the goal? He's the goal, right?
The rule is that if you are worth over $1 billion, you can wear whatever the fuck you want.
I think you're untouchable, yeah. I think that is the rule. I think that is the rule.
Fair enough. Number two, very, very famous right now. Her name is Marissa Mayer. She is the CEO of Yahoo, and that has basically tech geeks all over the world kind of drooling a little bit, frankly.
Yeah? Is she hot? Does she get a hot factor for everybody?
Yeah.
She's hot.
So tell me what you think about Miss Marissa Mayer.
I think she looks awesome. Clearly, she knows what she's doing. I don't know that I'm qualified to critique her because I think she looks great. I mean, for me, she's definitely, she's wearing a skirt and a little sweater, and in another photo she has on, it looks like a fancy cocktail dress. And she's probably going to a lot more fancier events than I am going to at this point in my life right now. Although we were on stage at the Apex Awards, we had to get all dressed up. She looks great.
I had to wear a coat.
She looks great. I'm not super comfortable in that. Like, that's the kind of outfit that she's wearing with the skirt and the sweater that I would feel like my mom in that outfit. I would need a little bit of like funkiness,
a little sass
to make me feel like Sandy.
Gotcha. Mr. Dave McClure. Now this one is great because I want to particularly ask about the glasses look. Now he is probably the most famous geeky glasses in all of tech. So talk to me about, first of all, how awesome is the bald guy?
Yes.
And how awesome are the glasses?
I think they look great.
He's also a guy who is worth a lot of money, so he can probably wear whatever he wants. But
I think he looks great. Yeah, I mean, glasses. Put your glasses back on. Let's see. Now, these are not your everyday glasses.
Well, no, these are my backup glasses because that's why I have 4 pairs of glasses, because I lose them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not permanently lost. They're just someplace in my house. I probably lost them on the couch or something, but yeah.
I think they're awesome because they're not like super boring. The glasses, you could tell, have a little bit of play. And that was one of the things in my tips for guys, that to express a little bit of your personality, sunglasses or regular glasses are a great place to do it because it doesn't look like you're trying too hard. Although, I'll say, I saw Deepak Chopra recently on TV, and he had on some little glasses that had like red crystals on them, and I thought that might have been pushing it just a little too much.
Gotcha.
Would you ever wear glasses with red sparkly crystals?
I would never wear anything with red sparkly crystals. I mean, that is,
I
draw the line at
no
sparkles.
Like
I can't do it. Take the boy out of Texas.
Aw, Brad.
Okay, so this is our boy, our friend, Mr. Brad Feld. Now, Brad is known around the country as one of the biggest startup gurus, one of the smartest human beings on the planet. He is the Midas touch when it comes to startups. He invests in things that go humongous. And he's also known for these shirts. Talk to me about these shirts.
We need to ask him. I don't know about these shirts. I cannot. Brad is a friend, right? He's a friend of our show. He's my Boulder guru. I love Brad, and I think this is a perfect example of he is wearing some crazy ass shirts, right? But he's doing it in a way that you can tell he's having fun with it.
Oh, and I think these fit Brad perfectly. Like I think if I put those on, people might throw up. But
that's the key,
with Brad,
right?
I think that
And so,
they're awesome.
what do you think it is? I mean, my opinion is, if you feel good in it, sometimes if it makes you laugh, right?
Yeah.
If you feel like it's an expression of who you are, then it really doesn't matter what you're wearing.
One of the
That's
things
what
I
you want.
like most about Brad as a person, as a human being, is he always brings levity to every situation, which is it's not so serious.
Yep.
You can have fun. You can enjoy yourself. And in his case, be wildly successful and have fun while you're doing it. And I really appreciate that part of his personality comes out.
I think that is one of my favorite things about Brad, and a lot of people in the startup world is you can't take yourself so seriously, right? You feel it when people take themselves too seriously, whether they're celebrities, right, or whether they're just people that you're hanging out in the startup world. You got to have fun.
And have a little bit of fun. All right, my friend, the beautiful, the wonderful Miss Krista Paul, founder of Using Miles.
These are just pictures of her face.
Yeah, but you've seen Krista. You know Krista. And she is one of the other divas that I know, sort of in the startup world.
Yes,
But
and she had on some amazing shoes at the luncheon, the kickoff luncheon that we saw her, that she spoke at for Denver Startup Week.
So I just wanted to do, this is more of a compare and contrast to my other buddy, John Nordmark. Is there more dorky John Nordmark and sassy Krista Paul in the same company Using Miles? Do you think that there's some dynamic tension there?
Is there? Have I met John?
No, probably not.
I haven't. It's hard to tell. I mean, he's just wearing a shirt, a button-down shirt.
No,
so
he is
he
an
looks,
awesome
he looks
guy.
Cute.
Hey, so there you go.
I think he looks cute.
There you go. All right.
I mean, here's what I'm looking at, though. I'm not looking so much at the headshot because I think it's really hard to take a good headshot. But I'm looking at him up there, wherever he is. It looks like he's speaking, and he looks comfortable and confident.
Together.
And I think public speaking is one of the hardest things to do. That's a test for you when you have to stand up in front of a bunch of people, whether you're pitching or just giving a keynote. Wear something that makes you feel comfortable because you don't want to be up there like,
you know, my rule of thumb, and I've not quite as big as you, but I've spoken in front of groups in the thousands before. Just make sure your fly's zipped up. That's really the thing that I do to make sure that I'm comfortable.
That is the most important thing.
Is make sure that
for
you're
sure. For sure.
So you've got a couple of kind of must-haves, and we need to wrap up. We're running out of time. But talk to us about the things that you really need to have in your wardrobe. We call them Sandy's must-haves. If you can't take notes as quickly, we'll have them up on the website.
They'll be on the website. And again, I am not the expert. These are just the things for me personally that I think if you have these in your wardrobe, you will never be at a loss for what to wear. So I think everybody needs a great suit. And that doesn't mean that you're going to wear all the pieces at the same time. But if you have a great suit, that means you have a great jacket. And you can put that jacket with a t-shirt and jeans and dress it up just a little bit for a networking party. If you have a great suit, you probably have either pants or a skirt that fit you really nicely. And you can wear that with a more casual look. So I just think a great suit for a woman or a man is really important. And you never know, right? You never know when you're going to get that invitation from Richard Branson to go out and have cocktails.
Still waiting.
Like you need
Still
to be
waiting
ready.
for my Richard Branson
you need
invitation.
to be ready.
Any day now.
For women, you know, a little black dress I think is important. For men, I would say just a great dark or black shirt, you know, one of those that are kind of fitted that you can wear over jeans, or you could tuck into some dress pants. I think will take you anywhere. Great pair of jeans that fit you good and make your butt look good. Do you have those?
I know. Well, I don't. Yeah.
I almost want to like make you stand up and turn around so we can do a little.
You
No.
know, a little bit.
That's another show.
That
would be Bitch Stole My Look.
Bitch Stole My Look. Something, I don't know.
The white button down for women, either like a cardigan or a great leather jacket. For men, that casual jacket I love from Kenneth Cole. Just something that you can throw on anytime over a pair of jeans and dress it up. For women, I always think great accessories. Like if you can find your signature thing. I love scarves. Since moving to Colorado, I could never wear them in Florida, but in Colorado, I have a whole wardrobe of scarves. And you can wear a gray or a white t-shirt and jeans and change the scarf, and you'll have like a new outfit every day. because scarf is different and fun, right?
Very nice.
For men, like I said, this is sunglasses. It could be a great pair of shoes, just something that you love. Bart was in the other day, Bart Lorang, and he had on some really cool, funky new sneakers with these like bright green. Blake always has really awesome shoes.
Blake always has awesome
and
stuff.
they kind of like express your personality. So those are my top tips for things that will help you feel like you're never in that position of, oh my God, I have nothing to wear.
And I understand that you are going to give away some of your trade secrets on the website about how to wear your shoes.
Shoes,
yes. I mean, like people have died to find these secrets out.
Actually, people always ask me, how do you wear these super high shoes? I call them hot mogul shoes because they make me feel really powerful. And I have some secrets, so I'm going to give those secrets away on our website, icosa.co. We'll put them on the blog post for our Startup episode today, which we're going to call Startup Fashion Police.
Startup Fashion Police.
So if you're listening, make sure you go and you can get all my secrets on how to wear high shoes without killing your feet.
So on that note, Startup Nation, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what your fashion tips are. Are we crazy? Are we, is Sandy, well, don't answer that question because clearly, but what is the worst fashion thing that's ever happened to you in the startup world?
Let's send us pictures of fashion don'ts that you've done.
We will put them up on the website. You can find us on Twitter at StardoTV, at Facebook at facebook.com/StardoTV, at icosa.co. You can send us smoke signals, do anything. Yeah, throw us some of the hats. One more thing, we got to show the Axles hat, and thank Axles. You can find them at cohats.com.
I have like the tiniest human head ever.
Is that right?
Yes. Does it look good?
That's not what your family told me.
That's
weird.
Thanks, Axles. You rock.
Thanks, Axles. You guys are really cool. We definitely appreciate you guys sponsoring us. And looking forward to showing off your cool threads and cool hats from time to come. Any parting thoughts, advice, words of wisdom, Sandy Grayson?
The resources that I love are the one I just found, this mansworldco.com Emmy. She's a stylist for men. So if you have a pressing fashion problem. Emergency, fashion emergency. I think she'll answer.
Fashion emergency.
One of my favorites is Polyvore. You can go to Polyvore and you can just search anything like women's dress or cocktail or business meeting, and you'll come up with all kinds of just cool inspirations. Many of the clothes on there are expensive, but I always look at it for inspiration and then go try to find something that's not as expensive but will give me a similar look. And then one more thing I found, which I think is a great resource, is on J. Crew. They have Jack Knows Best. If you search jcrew.com, and he's a men's stylist as well, and he'll answer your question, and he has tons of tips on packing for business trips and different ways, things that you should do and shouldn't do, and so those are my tips.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing and imparting. I kind of felt you dropped a little knowledge bomb on us today.
Do you?
It was a big, actually it wasn't a little knowledge bomb. It was a big knowledge bomb. There's knowledge all over the place up in here.
Thank you for letting me talk about fashion.
It
Stardo.
was my pleasure, and I think
appreciate
that all the Startup Nation, we're just a little smarter.
And you're going to look good now, which is really important.
Yeah.
That's my new theory. It's not how good your company is, it's how you look.
It's how you look as you're doing it.
No, that's not true.
For me, it's always about the canvas. You start on this canvas, I don't know, it's going to be tough.
It looks good.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us on today's episode of Stardo. Join us again next week for another episode of Stardo. For all of us here at the ICOSA Network, have an incredibly happy week.
Yeah,
holiday
happy
season
holidays
as it's coming along. And we'll see you again next week.